Lewis Hamilton has built one of the wildest empires in sports. We're talking luxury homes across the globe, a fortune worth nearly $500 million, businesses, supercars, and even his own private island. Today, we're exploring his unbelievably luxurious empire. $1 million empire. Lewis Hamilton spends money like a man who owns a small country. He is worth close to $500 million, and he has poured that fortune into a kingdom of homes and machines scattered across the planet. The easiest place to see the empire is in the real estate. His property alone is estimated to be worth tens of millions of dollars, with one detailed estimate putting his net property exposure around 70 million, planted at some of the most exclusive addresses on Earth. His official base is Monaco, where he bought a residence for a reported $15 million in the tax-friendly Fontvieille district, a short drive from the Monaco Grand Prix. Reports describe a sun terrace, a steam room, and multiple bathrooms, and later estimates have pushed the value into the $30 to $40 million range. Monaco is widely seen as his main tax base, and the Fontvieille address alone signals how carefully he structures where he lives. He also owns an early apartment in Switzerland overlooking Lake Geneva, bought to escape the British media in an area long favored by drivers like Fernando Alonso and Michael Schumacher. His London home is a statement in itself. It is a 4-story Victorian mansion in Kensington, originally built in 1860, bought in 2017 for about £18.2 million from former Burberry designer Christopher Bailey. It has 6 bedrooms, multiple reception rooms, a large kitchen and dining area, a 200-foot garden with a summer house, and security upgrades he added himself. In New York, he plays the property market like a trader. He bought a Tribeca penthouse of nearly 8,900 square feet with 5 en-suite bedrooms, a library, a private elevator, and a rooftop plunge pool for $43.9 million. He never lived in it, first listed it for $57 million, then sold it for $49.5 million and walked away with millions in profit. His Swiss apartment is still believed to be his, part of a quiet enclave where drivers hide from the cameras. And his New York triplex sat in a celebrity-heavy converted building, the kind of address where fame buys privacy. He grabbed a second New York penthouse on Vestry Street for $40.7 million, paid in cash in a Robert A.M. Stern designed building with a pool, a squash court, and a wine cellar, where Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen once owned a home. After joining Ferrari, he added a luxury apartment in Milan's pricey Porta Nuova district, after first considering Modena and Bologna for their closeness to Maranello. Yet the home he loves most is the quietest one, a ranch in the Colorado Rockies bought around 2011 for $7.85 million, which he calls his true main home and the place full of family memories. He uses it for winter training and downtime, sharing glimpses of outdoor breakfasts and paddleboarding with his dogs, and he has even started a farm on the land with a cow named Max. Now for the part that broke fans' hearts. Hamilton once owned one of the most jaw-dropping car collections on Earth, worth an estimated £13 million and split between Monaco and Los Angeles. It included a one-of-a-kind Pagani Zonda 760 LH built just for him, a Ferrari LaFerrari and its open-top Aperta, a Ferrari 599 SA Aperta, a McLaren P1, a rare McLaren F1, the Mercedes AMG 1 he helped develop, an SLS AMG Black Series, a G63 6x6, a Maybach, and classic muscle like a 1966 Shelby Cobra and a 1967 Shelby GT500. His daily driver at one point was a humble electric Mercedes. The collection was legendary in the car world. That bespoke Zonda was tuned and named just for him, one of the rarest hypercars ever made, and each one was worth a small fortune on its own, together forming a lineup museums would fight over. Then he did something nobody saw coming. In September 2025, Hamilton revealed he had sold the entire collection, saying he did not have any cars anymore and was more into art these days. Every single hypercar gone. The only one he said he would ever buy again would be a Ferrari F40, and even that he would treat as a piece of art rather than a machine to drive. The cars were not the first big toy to disappear. Years earlier, he sold his custom cherry red private jet, a Bombardier Challenger, in 2019, reportedly at a loss, to shrink his carbon footprint and match his environmental views. That jet was a frequent star of his travels and his social media, a flying billboard for the life he was living. What he kept was the water. He still owns a roughly 90-foot Sunseeker yacht based in Monaco's Port Hercule, fitted with walnut interiors, multiple cabins, and a chef's kitchen. The vegan champion now pours his money into collecting art, especially work by emerging black artists instead of horsepower. So the man is quietly reshaping his lifestyle, trading engines for oil paintings. But do not let the sell-off fool you into thinking he is slowing down. The homes and the cars are only the surface of this thing. The real empire is the money machine humming underneath them, and it stretches from your television screen to the NFL to the food on your plate. The empire that prints money If the homes and cars are the empire you can see, the business side is the empire that actually prints the money. Off the track, Lewis Hamilton is one of the most bankable brands in all of sport, and his endorsement income alone is estimated at roughly $25 to $35 million every single year. He ranks near the top of athlete marketability lists, and he is famously picky, favoring deals where he actually helps design the product instead of just wearing a logo. The roster reads like a luxury shopping mall. He has been a global ambassador for Tommy Hilfiger since 2018, with his own collaborative fashion collections. He has a long-running deal with Puma for racewear and footwear, complete with collections in his name and design input on details like his race shoes. His watch partnership with IWC Schaffhausen has run for more than a decade and includes limited edition pieces made in his honor. From an Ingenieur chronograph edition to a big pilot perpetual calendar and a high-end Portuguesa produced in a run of just 44 to match his race number, the fashion money kept climbing. In 2024, he became a men's fashion ambassador for Dior, working on lifestyle capsule collections and guest design elements, including Africa-inspired pieces. In 2025, he became the first Formula One driver ever signed by Lululemon, a deal that also links the brand's social impact arm to his own charity. His reach runs wider still, with luxury luggage deals with Rimowa, collectibles deals with Fanatics and Topps, and a big personal deal with Monster Energy during his Mercedes years. Even his older portfolio, with names like L'Oreal, Bose, Vodafone, and Tag Heuer, shows how deep the pull has always run. He has moved into tech money too. In 2025, he signed with the AI search company Perplexity, putting their logo on his Ferrari helmet and co-creating digital content, a deal the company reportedly preferred to strike with him personally rather than with the team. He also became a global ambassador for the online trading brand CFI, with part of that deal feeding his charity, and reports have tied him to helmet maker Bell, Sony, the tech giant HP, and the Middle East telecom brand Ian on top. He does not chase every check either. He turns down far more than he signs, and the deals he keeps tend to hand him a design seat, a share of the upside, or a tie to his charity work. But endorsements are rented income that lasts only as long as the deals do. The deeper empire is the stuff he owns outright. In 2025, Hamilton pulled his business world together under a company called Lewis Hamilton Ventures, rebranded from his earlier Project 44, a signal that the business had become a core part of who he is. Its crown jewel sits in American football. Hamilton holds a minority ownership stake in the NFL's Denver Broncos, part of the Walton Penner Group that bought the team for a record $4.65 billion in 2022. The franchise has since been valued north of $6 billion, meaning his slice has likely grown just by sitting still, and he joined a very short list of black co-owners in the league. Then there is Hollywood. Through his production company Dawn Apollo Films, Hamilton co-produced the 2025 Formula One movie starring Brad Pitt, a film that grossed over $630 million at the box office and has already had a sequel greenlit. He put his name on it as a producer and a financial bet, and it paid off big, turning a racing champion into a genuine Hollywood player. His other bets spread across the future of food and lifestyle. He co-founded Almave, a non-alcoholic blue agave spirit backed by drinks giant Pernod Ricard, which fits his plant-based lifestyle and has expanded into stores like Target in the United States. He has invested in plant-based food tech, such as Notco, backed early ventures like Neat Burger, and put money into vertical farming through Bowery and Bee-Free Honey through Melly Bio. He has held stakes in rapid grocery delivery through Zap, the electric racing series Extreme E, with his own X44 team, the media world with W Magazine, and the sports media venture TMRW Sports, launched alongside Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. He also runs his own streetwear line called Plus 44, which is shown at Paris Fashion Week. Not every bet has paid off. Neat Burger ran into serious trouble, and some of his food and farming plays have struggled, a reminder that he invests like a real venture capitalist, taking big swings with real risk attached. He funnels impact through his Mission 44 Foundation, which pushes education and opportunity for young people who grew up like he did, so the businessman and the activist stay the same person. The Broncos deal alone could end up being the smartest move of his life, a stake in one of the most valuable franchises in American sport that keeps climbing while he focuses on driving. Put the numbers next to each other, and the strategy is obvious. The endorsements ride on top of his Ferrari pay. The ownership stakes point at where he wants his wealth to grow, and he keeps landing near the top of the world's most marketable athlete lists year after year. But all of it, the homes, the toys, the brands, the companies, needed fuel to get started, and the machine that earned the very first dollar is the most staggering part of the whole story. The machine and the island. None of this empire would exist without the machine that built it, the greatest racing career the sport has ever seen. Most estimates in 2026 place Hamilton's net worth somewhere between $450 and $550 million, and the Sunday Times Rich List ranked him among Britain's wealthiest people at around £435 million. These are editorial estimates rather than audited figures. They reflect what he has kept after tax, spending, and giving, and only a tiny handful of athletes in any sport have ever climbed this high. Forbes has ranked him among the highest-paid athletes on the planet for years. The engine behind that fortune runs on record-breaking pay. In 2025, Hamilton became the first Formula One driver ever to earn an estimated $100 million in a single year from salary and endorsements combined, and that is the haul from 1 year of his life. It came on the back of the richest driver deal the sport has ever seen. His jump to Ferrari in 2025 was one of the biggest moves in sports history. He walked away from the Mercedes team he had dominated with for over a decade to chase a childhood dream of driving for the most famous name in racing. The contract he signed carries a base salary widely reported between $60 and $70 million a year, before bonuses and image rights push the package toward $100 million in a strong season, and it runs at least through 2026 with an option for 2027. Stretch the money back across his whole career and the numbers get dizzying. His salaries from McLaren and Mercedes alone are estimated at more than $430 million before tax, and his total career gross earnings are often placed between $800 million and $920 million. So how does one driver command that kind of money? He earned it by rewriting the Formula One record books. Lewis Hamilton didn't just become one of the sport's biggest stars. He became its statistical benchmark. Hamilton holds the all-time record for the most Grand Prix victories, with 106 wins. He also owns the record for the most pole positions at 104, proving that over a single lap, few drivers in history have matched his speed. Add another record for the most podium finishes with 207, and his consistency becomes just as impressive as his outright pace. During his legendary partnership with Mercedes, he collected around 84 race wins, the most any driver has achieved with a single team. At his home race, the British Grand Prix, he has stood on the top step an unmatched 9 times. Hamilton was also the first driver in Formula One history to reach 100 race wins and 100 pole positions, milestones that once seemed almost impossible. He shares the all-time record of 7 world championships with Michael Schumacher, and in 2021, his impact extended beyond racing when he was knighted in the New Year honors, officially becoming Sir Lewis Hamilton. The wildest part is where it all started. Hamilton grew up in modest circumstances on a council estate in Stevenage, has spoken about sleeping on the couch and facing constant doubt, and watched his father Anthony work as many as 4 jobs at once, from IT work to double glazing sales, just to keep his son in go-karts. Lewis won the British Cadet Karting Championship at age 10, told McLaren boss Ron Dennis that same year that he wanted to race for the team, and was signed to the McLaren Young Driver program at just 13. As the first black driver in Formula One history, he arrived in 2007 and nearly won the title as a rookie, took his first crown in 2008 as the youngest champion at the time, then broke Michael Schumacher's all-time win record at the 2020 Portuguese Grand Prix, and even after his shock move to Ferrari, he keeps winning, landing his 106th career victory at the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix in 2026. Which brings us, finally, to the island. For all the homes and all the toys, the piece of the empire that means the most to Hamilton cannot be bought at any price, because it lives in his blood. His family comes from Grenada, the Caribbean island known as the Spice Isle, where his grandfather was born and raised. His grandfather, Davidson, later drove a school bus on the island. So slowly, the children nicknamed him the Slow Coach, and Lewis has visited over the years to honor those roots and wear the Grenadian flag with pride. As a young superstar, he chased his own piece of paradise there, trying to buy a stretch of the stunning Grand Anse Beach in a resort deal, reported at around £20 million, and he later commissioned a custom luxury villa on the island as well. Neither dream survived. The beach deal eventually unraveled, and years later, the land was reclaimed by the Grenadian government and designated a protected national treasure, putting any future private ownership out of reach. The villa purchase fell through as well, leaving both ambitions unfinished. It's a striking paradox. Here is a man with a fortune large enough to acquire almost anything, yet the one place that carries the deepest personal meaning remained beyond his grasp. The island that shaped his family story became the one prize money alone could not secure, yet failure never weakened that connection. If anything, it seemed to strengthen it. Hamilton has repeatedly spoken about his desire to spend more time in Grenada and eventually embrace a quieter life tied to the island of his ancestry. Once his Formula One career comes to an end, for all the championships, wealth, and global recognition, home remains the destination he still hopes to reach. So that is the empire in full. A near $500 million fortune built on the greatest racing racing career in history, stacked with luxury brand deals, an NFL team, a Hollywood blockbuster, food tech bets, a globe-spanning property portfolio, and a lifestyle he is now quietly reshaping around art and the environment. The boy from the council estate turned raw speed into a kingdom. If this blew your mind, drop a comment telling us which part of Hamilton's empire shocked you most, and stick around to find out what he plans to do with all of it when the racing finally stops. Love this video? Click on this card for more.